Welcome back, everybody. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a quick look at how we can enter in some data here. Now, again, we have our columns here, and we also have our rows right here. And in here, you can put in a whole bunch of numbers here. So I'm just going to put in a series of 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do 4 4s here. And I'm just going to keep doing this here. All right. And I'm going to show you what we can do with this here. Now, in the old days, you'd be able to make a spreadsheet that looks like this, and for the most part, it would do the job. And if you're looking for something functional, this is fine here. But remember, you can always format this to whatever you want here, and I generally like the numbers to be in the center. That's just me here. Now, if you've ever taken any of my programming courses, you'll note that there are letters in terms of variables and numbers in terms of variables as well. Meaning that you can have a variable or a piece of data that's either a string, which can be like a name, or they can be a number here. Now, why am I talking about this at all? Well, it makes sense because you can format these cells to be different. So for example, you can format the cell to be not just a number, you can format it to be a percent or a type of currency if you want. But you can't format this A to be a type of currency because they're two totally different things. All right, so as you can see here, we have a series of 9 numbers here, and for the most part, they're formatted pretty basically, right? Now, if you go up here, up to the top here, you can see that there are two very common formats that you'll use. One is percent, and two is the dollar sign. Okay, so if I push the dollar sign here, you'll see what will happen here is that there'll be a dollar sign, and then there will be the comma and the decimal place to 2 decimal places. Again, this is usually the way money is calculated. Now, if you want all of these to go to dollar signs, you can go ahead and do that here, and you'll notice that it fits just onto this little screen here. And again, the reason why it's in this resolution is so that everyone can see what is going on here. So as you can see here, they all are the same format here. Now, when in the computer, and there's a kind of a property to each one of these cells, meaning that this cell is now a currency cell and not just a simple number. We can also turn it into percents here. Now, something's going to happen here, and I'm just going to turn this into percentage here. Now, remember, if you remember, this number was 1111 and 222, etc. If you want to go ahead and undo this, let's just push Control Z, and we'll just put that back to normal here. Now let's go ahead and let's push percentage here, and you'll notice that everything's at an incredibly large percentage. Okay, so what happens if we wanted this to be 100%? So I'm just going to push Command Z again, and I'm going to change this to 100. So I want this to be 100%. Okay, and I push the percent sign, and it doesn't exactly work. It turns out to be 10,000%. Well, remember, if we do 1 like this, so if I just push Command Z a couple times, and I turn this off here, and I just do 1 instead of 100, you'll see that it'll turn out to be 100%. And the reason is that, remember, percents are decimals here. So if we do something like this here, I'll just push Command Z here. If we do 0.1, and then 0.2, 0.3, like that, and 0.4, etc. And we can just continue to do this here, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and then we have 0.9 as well. Okay, and you'll notice that what we'll do is we'll just put everything into the percentages like that. Okay, and you'll see that everything turns out to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. Now, this is a common mistake that a lot of people make, and you just have to make sure that percentages are usually below 1, at least the percentages that you're working with. All right, so those are the two number formats that are commonly used. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.